Coronation Street big name confirms Brody and Kit's large showdown. The pair conflict at Kit's flat subsequent week. Coronation Street newcomer Brody Michaelis is going at the assault in opposition to Kit Green subsequent week, unaware that the neighborhood police detective may be his organic father. As risky Mick Michaelis faces large hassle with the police following his negative moves this week. Afflicted youngsterager Brody deludes himself into wondering that his dad is harmless of all charges. Deciding that Kit is the supply of all his own circle of relatives' troubles. Brody smashes up his flat in a reckless revenge plan. When Kit interrupts him, Brody turns violent through charging at him and pushing him in opposition to a wall. Ryan Mulvey, who performs Brody, currently stuck up with us for his first primary chat approximately Corrie and all of the drama to return back. Why does Brody goal Kit subsequent week? Brody were given a number of hate toward Kit. In Brody's eyes, Kit is the purpose why his own circle of relatives is falling aside due to the fact Kit arrests his dad. Brody sees Kit because the villain in his tale. What is Brody's dating with Mick like? Brody appears as much as his dad. It's his dad. It is his superhero. And he loves him a lot. Mick has taught Brody the way to be like a person or what he thinks a person is through his childhood. Deep down, 11 though, Brody does have a terrible feeling over what Mick would possibly have done. Even 11 though Mick has those first-rate facets. Wherein he is a relatively charismatic guy who is robust and the pinnacle of the own circle of relatives. Brody has additionally had a difficult time together along with his dad over the years. Brody has without a doubt been bullied through Mick as a kid. He's been informed that something smooth and emotional is not masculine. That's why Brody is the manner is he's pretty difficult and he would not like letting human beings in. The individual who is meant to reveal him what love is, hasn't given the finest instance of that. Brody has been so manipulated that he would not receive his dad as responsible on the moment. It will actually blow his mind. It's first-rate due to the entire variations among Mick and Kit. With their jobs and the jobs they have got in society. At the moment, Brody were given a lot hatred toward Kit due to the fact he sees him because the catalyst for why his own circle of relatives is falling aside. Also, Brody hasn't constantly had the finest dating with Mick. He hasn't in reality acquired the affection that he wanted. That's why he is so closed off. So Brody could suppose, why on the planet could I ever permit myself open once more to every other father figure? Whilst the individual that is my father failed to even display me that. What is Brody's dating together along with his mum Lou like? Brody and Lou will speak loads greater and they have got a better dating. Mick turned into by no means in reality home. So he turned into by no means in reality with inside the ordinary own circle of relatives' lifestyles as a whole lot as Lou. Brody and Lou are close. However, Brody additionally resents his mum in a manner. Lou likes having a social lifestyles and she or he likes having a drink. So she hasn't been that to be had for Brody. That's why he is so unbiased and he were given an older head on his shoulders. Due to the fact he were given his more youthful sisters. He's needed to appearance after them and that a while you in reality quickly. How have you ever determined Corrie in trendy so far? It's been first-rate settling in. Everyone's been searching after me and I've simply been having a in reality true time. You get to realize human beings and I've had a lot of laugh on set with everyone. As a younger actor, it is only a in reality inspiring and thrilling vicinity to be into paintings. How does Corrie examine to Hollyoaks? Wherein you performed J.J. Osborne. Obviously they're each soaps. So in that regard, they're quite similar. The changeover among me being on the two suggests turned into quite short. However, I'm one of these human beings that simply loves doing new things. So I turned into actually humming to return back over to Corrie. Corrie's so rapid. I mean, Hollyoaks turned into rapid too. However, Coronation Street is actually loopy with how short they make the content. Corrie's filmed on multicam whilst Hollyoaks is unmarried cam. So that is pretty a large distinction with the velocity of filming. It continues you to your feet, however it is a laugh. Did you realize the entire tale of Brody's own circle of relatives' historical past whilst you joined the display? I experience like Brody turned into pretty a clean area for me. I failed to in reality realize a whole lot facts approximately him. Which I decide upon anyway. Due to the fact then you haven't any regulations or rules whilst you're filling to your individual. When I went to the audition, the briefing was just that Brody was a bit of a bully. I thought it was a fun part. So I'd have fun with it. The chemistry went well because it was just me and Liam. It was the scene where our characters were having a joint in the STC. So it was a fun one that we could mess around with. Even though Brody is a horrible character to some extent, he also is just a teenage lad and he was messing around with his mate in the prison. Because I enjoyed it so much. I think that came across and I was buzzing after the audition. I then got the call to let me know that I got the part. How would you describe Brody? Brody is complicated and he's got loads of sides to him. He has got this hard shell around him where he's tough, manipulative, decisive and quite cunning. He knows how to work people. So he's very clever in a social sense. But I wouldn't say he's just a tough bully. He's not going to just threaten you. Brody knows that's not the type of person he is. Because he's not some huge lad that's going to wreck your face. He knows how to work people. But in a way, that's more terrifying because he can worm his way into situations and make you feel like you owe him a favor. Brody is really independent because of his upbringing. Everyone's got a reason for why they are the way they are. So Brody is not going to just be this bully for no reason. As the storyline continues, you start to realize that Brody's clearly not had the best upbringing and that's the reason why he is the way he is. Was it nice to have your first few weeks in the STC before being let loose on the cobbles? Yeah, it was nice to do the STC scenes with Liam and the other lads. They're all about my age and we're quite similar. We just had fun with the scenes. Hopefully that came across. Brody has wreaked havoc from the start and he hasn't stopped. We'll see a different side to Brody when he shares scenes with his younger sisters. Won't we? Oh, absolutely. No one's just got one personality or one emotion they feel all the time. Everything is fluid and everything's changing. So it's so nice that I've got the aspect of Brody's younger sisters, who he absolutely adores and he'd do anything for them. He's so protective of them, just because of the missing parental figures in their life. Brody becomes their dad or their carer. In a way, it's really nice to play that softer side to Brody. It feels like a weight off his shoulders when he's around them. Even though he's trying to look after them, he doesn't have to put on an act or impress anyone. What else can we expect from Brody's future? If Brody were an animal, he'd definitely be a fox. He's cunning, he's charismatic, he knows what he's doing. But people are attracted to him, they like being around him because he's got a certain funness about him. He's charming and that's what I love about him. He draws people in, even though people probably know they shouldn't get close to him. You can definitely expect a lot more from him. He brings a bit of drama to the street with him. There's a lot of fight. A lot of stubbornness. He knows what he wants and he'll get it. And he won't stop, no matter who's in his way. Thanks for watching and stay tuned for more movie spoilers next week. Goodbye and see you again.